Maybe he got a little too cozy with some of these birds.
Only explanation I have in where a Fiat Uno could keep up with a Mercedes S280, okay?
It's not that I wouldn't fight Mothman. I would beat the shit out of him.
We're seasoned.
So wait, you mean to tell me they have a festival commemorating the day a man got his shit rocked by an extraterrestrial carrot?
My neighbors across the street, they are not real.
But a pyramid is the most boring shape.
Part Sasquatch, part trickster midget. What's going on, guys? Thank you for joining us in the Conspiracy Kitchen, where we uncover the secret ingredients behind life's daily mysteries. I'm your head chef, Joe, and I'm accompanied by my sous chef, Josh, the Cryptid Killer.
I'm here, it's me.
And once again, we're going to be taking off our chef's hats and putting on our detective hats, or investigative hats. And I feel like if you're investigating, you also got to get your pipe out. Yeah. So we got our pipes out, got our Sherlock Holmes hat on, if you will. And with all the positive feedback I've been getting about our cold case solving abilities, I think we're going to do another one. What do you think, Josh?
I think so, too. I do want to start off by saying this is not a lighthearted story at any capacity.
No. This is a pretty brutal murdering, I guess you could say, of 3 young girls. So we're gonna do the Oklahoma Girl Scout murders. Right, it happened in 1977. So yeah, it's not for the faint of heart, I guess you could say. So just overnight, June 12th, I guess June 12th to the morning of June 13th, 3 girls are found dead in a Girl Scout camp, Camp Scott, which is in Locust Grove, Oklahoma. 3 girls were Laura Lee Farmer, she was 8, from Tulsa. Michelle Heather Guse, 9, from Broken Arrow. And a Doris Denise Milner, she was 10 years old, from Tulsa. They were removed from their tent, sexually assaulted, and murdered, left about 150 yards from the tent that they were sleeping in that night. Local guy, Gene Leroy Hart, who was a prison escapee in the areas, which was charged with rape and other things like that, was basically caught and charged with these crimes. So, case closed, right, Josh? It's over. We're done?
Yeah.
Episode's over?
Roll credits.
No, I don't think so, right? There's a lot of stuff in here that just does not seem right? Blown away, blown out of, just blown off, right, is the word I'm looking for. The words I'm looking for. Not looked at, this is just, I think, a quick, try to convict someone and close this case, right, and move on. That's what I think happened here.
It's too easy to just pin the entire... It's 3 people that got murdered, and you're going to pin it on one person and
even
say...
if they are kids, yeah.
Yeah, but still, no one in any of the other tents are going to notice people, screaming.
Listen, I have 3 kids, right? Under 7. And even if I try to wrestle them, I can't wrestle all 3 at the same time.
No.
Granted, it's 3 boys, but still, they're tough, right? It doesn't. I don't know. That doesn't. Just one person by themselves does not make sense to me at all. So I wanted to start. We'll go back 2 months before the murders happened, right? The first odd thing that comes up: there's a donut box left at the camp by the director's cabin, and there's a note inside the donut box written in big block letters. And it says, "We are on a mission to kill 3 girls in 1 tent." A little foreshadowing, I think, right there. They dismiss it as a prank.
Very specific note.
Very specific. Dismissed as a prank. There's also multiple reports in the area leading up to that night of prowlers and burglaries around there. Right? And it's not just, they're saying prowlers, multiple. So then the night of June 12th comes. It's the first night these girls arrive. It's the first night they're on camp. And it was funny. I was talking to my one coworker because he was asking when we're going to get the next episode out. He really enjoys our cold case stuff. And I mentioned this episode, and he was like, "This is exactly the reason I told my wife that I need to be a den leader if my kids ever go to Girl or Boy Scouts. I have to be there because I don't trust anyone." And he's right, right?
100%.
Would you want these people watching your kids?
These specific people, no. And I'll tell
Absolutely
you why.
not.
I'll tell you why. Because, mind you, this is before the children got to the camp, so there was nobody there yet. 2 months before camp starts, this camp counselor, the tent is ransacked, the donuts are stolen out of the box, and a giant ransom-like note is left. And you write it off as a prank? There's no one there to prank you. You're the only one there. What do you mean?
Exactly. And we'll get into that later. The we part, right? So, the 3 victims are in Tent 8. And again, this is a terrible, by design. If it was by design, it was done on purpose. Camp 8 is blocked from view from the rest of the tents and the director's cabin and stuff by the shower house. So you got the director's cabin and everything. You got these other cabins. You got all the tents set up, the shower house, and then let's just put Tent 8 behind the shower house. Doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense to me. That night, a violent thunderstorm rolls in. You know, torrential downpours, heavy thunder, winds, and stuff like this. At that point, sometime after midnight, I'm going to say perpetrators with an S, enter the tent through the rear, away from the main camp area, through the back of the tent. And Lori and Michelle were murdered in a tent with a blunt force object. But some reason, Doris was removed from the tent and murdered outside the tent. Murdered after the fact. Wasn't killed instantly in the tent. After this, they were drug about 150 yards from the tent, and they were stuffed into a sleeping bag. Well, Lori and Michelle were stuffed in one sleeping bag, and then Doris was partially in another sleeping bag, I believe, Josh.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, was she the first one that was found the next morning? Because she was, like, sticking out of the sleeping bag?
Yeah, she was the first one found by the neglectful camp counselors. Yeah.
Well, come on now. That camp counselor did her best the night before when she heard screams and did nothing about it.
Exactly.
Useless bitch.
So the one sleeping bag with the 2 stuffed in it has a red flashlight left on top of it. And then the night before, like Josh just mentioned, counselors recall hearing strange noises. And one even mentioned hearing a girl yell, "Mama." But they didn't investigate this. This was never looked into.
I could shed some light on this, Joe. I know why they thought nothing of it. Because a lot of times, you see, during thunderstorms, when the lightning goes and the thunder roars, it sounds like somebody yelling, "Mama, fuck off."
Not even close, dude.
No.
I honestly, like, those counselors should be ashamed of themselves, right? Like, 100% should be ashamed of themselves.
Should have gone to jail for, I don't know, any child neglect, something. They should have found a reason. Throw them away.
Because this is just it's just absolutely just mind-blowing to me that all these things happen and you never even attempt to change security or change the way you do things. A note saying they want to kill 3 girls in a tent. Like, we're on a mission to kill 3 girls in one tent. And nothing gets changed. Prowlers in the area, nothing gets changed. You put a tent behind the shower house so you can't see it. And you're fine with that. And you put 3 girls in that tent behind the shower house after getting a warning on a note 2 months beforehand. Come on now.
It's just, look, I love a prank as much as the next guy. I really do. But I don't think somebody writing, "I'm literally going to murder these children," is a prank.
It's not a prank.
If you think that, like, what is your brand of humor if you think getting that letter is a prank when you're about to be in charge of a bunch of children? Fun. No.
Yeah, dude.
What's the matter with you?
Yeah, absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. Yeah, and the counselors find the scene the next morning. They find doors outside her sleeping bag to find the other two girls, and immediately the camp is locked down. They're probably like, yeah, we should have took that note seriously. Done.
Well, that and just the layout of the camp, because you did mention that it was behind the shower house or whatever.
Yes.
They built the camp. They have all of the woods to use. Put the tents next to each other. Why are you?
That's what I never
one?
understood.
It's so far away. Why?
It's dumb. It's literally the worst thing I've ever seen. Yeah, you have 7 tents up front, circling around with the director's cabin. Then a shower house, and they're like, oh yeah, we should get another tent for these 3 girls, and we're just going to put it behind the shower house because reasons, right? Just put it over there. They're fine. We didn't get a note about, murdering 3 girls in a tent. We're going to put the 3 girls in the tent that's hidden. Make it make sense, right? Doesn't make sense.
Well, we can't do anything. The camp's already made. It's a tent. Pick it up. Move it. Done.
Move other tents away from, slide. You can't move the tents a little bit and stick an extra one in there?
Maybe build cabins with doors that lock, you cheap fucks. I know it's the 70s.
Not have just regular tents that someone can just walk into in the middle of the night. I guess that makes sense too, right?
Yeah. You're in the middle of Oklahoma, and you have children under the age of 10 in flimsy tents in the middle of the woods that you can't see. Great job. Send your kids. We'll take care of them. Fuck you. What?
It's absolutely just an atrocity, if you ask me. And when police get there, they see that the tent actually shows signs of struggle, obviously, right? Mm-hmm. But it wasn't completely ransacked. They didn't take a bunch of shit out of the tent. Just, the girls left, and I guess some glasses and stuff like that. The other thing that was weird about this is that the blood, they actually tried to clean up the blood inside the tent, which I found odd. Again, the death was from extreme blunt force trauma. They believe it was a crowbar. No murder weapon was found, though. Never found it. And looking at this, knowing that thunderstorms, it's nighttime, right? I feel like the person or people that did that had knowledge of the camp. They knew tent 8 was semi-blocked by the shower house. Especially if it's nighttime, you need to know the area, right, for the trails and stuff. During a thunderstorm and rain and darkness, to be able to move around out there, I think you need to know the area. So I'm assuming it was people that knew the area. Just happens to be a Cherokee group nearby that stay in the woods, right? It's kind of odd.
Tell me your cat just got in again.
Freaking cat was just scraping the door, trying to break the door open. So that's odd to me, right? There's a Cherokee group in the area, knows the area. But the main suspect, I believe, would be Gene Leroy Hart, which I mentioned before. He was a local Cherokee man, a convicted rapist, burglar. He went to prison several times, and the last time he went to prison, right, he burglarized a bunch of houses, including sheriff or an officer's house, and was sentenced to 300 years in prison. So he escaped. He didn't want to be in there anymore. So they find him in the woods, right? He's found near a cave or something. You were mentioning a video you saw.
Oh yeah, I know this is again a very serious thing, and we joke where we can, but I saw the video of them arresting this guy, and the news anchor that was covering the story was running next to him as they were pulling him, and he's walking out in these little 70s short shorts and his giant glasses, his bowl cut, and the news anchor is out of breath because he's running up the hill following him. He's like, look at him, they found him, and he did it, and oh my god, it's him. And you're just all right, calm down, take a breath. Why you don't gotta run next to him? This isn't a track meet, fuck ass. Calm down.
He wanted to get the scoop.
He's still the only news anchor in Oklahoma. He's gonna get it.
But he wanted to be the best at it.
Well,
He wanted to make sure that we got the information.
awful.
So yeah, they basically arrest him, they charge him with the crimes, and they go to trial. Even though they literally had no evidence at all.
None.
So they go to trial. You got the prosecutor, Buddy Fallis Jr., supposed to be a well-known, great prosecutor in the area, and the victims' families petitioned to have him do the case. And then they had the defense attorney, Gavin Isaacs. Gavin, man. Pulls through. So the prosecutor's case was basically circumstantial, right, at best. They said Hart lived in the area and raped before. There you go. But, again, what I say, this isn't his MO. He doesn't murder them. He never beat anyone with a thing. The hair found at the scene was consistent, they said, with Hart, but was not definitive. It wasn't 100% conclusive. Basically, they're saying that and the body fluids found were of Cherokee descent, but they did not have DNA markers to say it was 100% or 99.99999%, which is what I guess DNA is, right? 1 in 300 billion or whatever it is. It was only 1 in 7,000 because they were saying it was his lineage, but it didn't say it was actually him. It was just consistent with him. They had that. And they're saying that since he was on the run, the motive was that he just wanted to rape again. This was their whole case. And the shoe size was about the same, right? 9.5.
Yeah.
The bloody footprint. About the same size, they're saying, a 9.5 shoe.
Wait, I got a question, though. So
Yes.
you said the fluids they found were of Cherokee descent. How are they able to test for that?
I guess their DNA genetic markers in it, you can tell, you know how you do 23andMe or whatever the hell it's called, or Ancestry.com, and they can tell you, oh, you're European, you're whatever. I didn't look into it 100%. But I know there's markers in DNA, and you look through it, and you can find which lineage it is of.
I was gonna say, I thought because it's the 70s, they just glanced at it as well, that looks indigenous. It must have been him.
Could have been. You know how since we're we have European descent in us, we have Neanderthal blood. We're 2.3% Neanderthal.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff like that. I guess they can find by distinct DNA tracers. I'm not sure how they do it. I would look into that. I will look into it because I'm interested in that. But yeah, they knew it was of Cherokee descent, but they didn't have that it was exactly him.
Fair enough.
So that was the best thing. So the defense said the case was weak, rushed, and tainted. I mean, it looks to me rushed. Obviously, they had no evidence. They should have waited to at least try to build a stronger case, which they never did, never could. Even the juror. There was a juror that was shocked. Right? He said he couldn't believe. He's like, I didn't know if he did it or didn't, but they didn't bring any evidence forward because they literally didn't bring anything forward. The crime scene was poorly secured. I mean, there was heavy rain, downpours, right? So it's hard to even contain DNA and make sure everything's taken care of. And then there's chain of custody issues with the evidence to begin with. They were looking into it, they didn't know who was moving the DNA and the evidence and stuff like that. All throughout, there's chain of custody issues when looking through the log. So that leaves the door open for the defense, right? Tainted, planted, contaminated. It basically washed away their whole freaking prosecution case because they just didn't know. They were. I feel like they were rushing it, and they're trying to get a conviction. And they're trying to say that it was just convenient to frame Hart and get this done. That was the defense's case. So the jury only deliberated for 5 hours. Some people, they said, were done within 5 minutes and saying he's not guilty because they don't have the evidence to prove he's guilty. Right? We're innocent until proven guilty in this country. We're supposed to be. So on March 29th, 1979, he's acquitted. Case closed, right? He's acquitted. They never convict him. So even if he was part of this, their rush to try to close this case out quickly makes it so you can never try him again for this case. because he's found not guilty. It wasn't like a, deadlock or anything, or a mistrial. So he could have been involved. I mean, he might have been. I don't think it was only him. And I honestly think the prosecution side and the counselors and the victims and everything trying to get a closed case ruined convicting him as part of it.
Well, see, that's the funny thing. So, a lot of people in that town believed he was innocent. And I know a lot of people hated him and just wanted this to be done with, but, like, a lot of people, like, there were people on the sidewalk asking, like, oh, do you think, he's actually guilty? And then people were at the trial holding up signs, like, free him and, like, all that shit. And the families were very distraught over this, and they were, like, losing it. Like, this isn't fair. Why are they doing this? It's like, all right, well, you kind of got to go through and find evidence. Like, and they weren't doing that. They were just like, well, he was in the area, and he's not a nice person. So we're going to put 2 and 2 together, and he did it. And then they found nothing.
Yeah, to me, I don't want just someone convicted. Like, I think the large part having the negligence that was on this counselor team, right? The whole camp employment body should be just fired, never allowed to be involved with protecting children in any way, shape, or form again, and even brought up on charges. But if I'm a parent, I don't want just anyone. I want the person, right? The people convicted. Just because it's easy to get this guy convicted, why, as a parent, that's not what I want. I want the truth. I want the person who actually did it to be convicted. It makes no sense to try to push it through if you have no evidence. It's not how our justice system works.
Not one bit. And I think that if, God forbid, this ever happened to my children, and they pushed it for a conviction of somebody that they weren't 100% on, I would never be satisfied.
Yeah.
I couldn't live with myself knowing that the possibility of the actual person still being out there, it's just fucking so irritating. And again, I'm not trying to defend this piece of shit. He was a piece of shit.
He was a piece of shit, yeah.
Like,
he kidnapped 2 pregnant women, yeah.
Yeah, he deserved to die long before this, but fuck, man, like, do the job. If you're gonna be the cop, do the fucking job and just try at least to find real evidence and not go with, oh, well, he's done stuff like this before, that rascal, and he was in the area. No, that's not good enough.
Yeah. Like, we're not defending the guy, right?
No.
We could care less about him. He's a piece of shit. We're defending the process. Mm-hmm. We live in this country where we need, you're innocent until proven guilty, and there's a justice system that has, laws and stuff it has to abide by, and to get a conviction. That's what we're trying to. That's what I'm the one complaining about here. I'm not defending this piece of shit. It just needs to be done right. You can't, even though he's a piece of shit, you can't frame him for it, because then the real person or people are still out there and they get away with it, and they could do it again. And now, because you guys didn't take the time to try to find the right people, and you wanted to push this other narrative, those people can now affect someone else's children that could have been prevented if you took the time to solve the case.
And also, I'd like to add this. So, a lot of, like, the stories I've been reading on this and interviews and all that, people are like, oh, the camp was spread out because, it was the 70s and, things weren't that bad back then. But, like, do you not hear about the Manson murders and all of that? Like, shit happens, man. And
all the time.
This is only a few years after that. Like, you learn recently before this that there's sick fucks in the world, and you're going to let your kids go to a camp that's spread out in the middle of the Oklahoma woods. One of the tents is completely hidden behind a shower house, and then no, everything's fine. Bullshit, man.
Yeah, and I like the people. Oh, it's worse now. I don't think it's worse now. It's always been this bad. We have social media and the news and everything now that makes you see more stuff, which makes it look worse. But I mean, go back in time, dude. You could just go to the next person's your little civilization, and then the neighboring civilization. You just go over there and freaking kill a bunch of people and take their shit and go home and then call it a day, and there's no problem with it, right? It's not worse now. It's the same. It's always people always killing people. You gotta don't put kids behind the shower house. Have everyone in your vicinity. I'm not letting my was it 8, 9, and 10 or 7, 8, and 9? I'm not letting them be in an area that I can't even supervise them at night. In a new place. They've never been, right? It's their first day on camp. A massive thunderstorm's rolling through, and you are not out there checking on these kids. It makes no sense to me at all.
That's the other thing. Normally at camp, they would do, like, checks throughout the night on these kids.
Wouldn't you?
Yeah, of course. And they didn't do that at all. And I know that other camps, there's like, I don't know, there's like a counselor in each, well, they have cabins, but there's a counselor for each, like, tent or cabin. They didn't do that. They had, like, 3 people there for all these kids. Like, are you out of your fucking minds? What did you expect was going to happen?
It's dumb. It's absolutely stupid. And it just goes back to my coworker, right? He's saying, I don't trust these people. I would need to be a den leader if my kids were ever in scouts. I would need to be a den leader. I'd need to be there. Because I don't trust them. And I don't trust them either. I don't, like, even if I send my kids to the camp nearby my house, right, I'd have to make sure I check on them. I wouldn't. I don't even think I would. But there's a camp near my house. It's supposed to be a nice camp. But still, I don't know. It's don't try. I don't trust people. What about you? I don't trust them.
No, but not in the slightest. Especially when it comes to, like, camp and shit, because every goddamn horror movie from the 80s takes place at a camp. Yeah. I say this as I'm looking at my Jason poster on the wall. But, dude, you got, let's see, Jason, Sleepaway Camp, fucking, you got fucking Fear Street Part 2. Like, it's all takes place at a camp in the 80s and 70s. Like, they make movies for a reason.
Yeah.
Shit happens.
Yeah, don't. So what I think is maybe Hart, because he is a Cherokee, could have been involved. But I think it was ritualistic murders, right? I think this was a group of the Cherokee Nighthawks that were in the area who performed a ritualistic sacrifice of these kids for occult purposes. That's what I'm going with here. To me, it doesn't seem right. And it just start with the letter. Start with the letter off the rip. Leroy, why would Gene Leroy Hart write, "We are on a mission to kill 3 girls in one tent"? Does he have multiple personalities?
It's just
I don't think so.
It's not his MO in the slightest.
It's not his MO. It's not his MO. It's different. He didn't kill before. He didn't do, like, weird letters before. He's just on a whim guy, right? He would just burglarize, rob, and kidnap. Mm-hmm. Right? He's not sitting there cleaning up the tent of blood. When would he have time, if he was working by himself, to perform these heinous act on these children? Get them 150 yards away from the tent. Stuff them in sleeping bags. Leave the flashlight there, and clean the tent. What are we doing here? Like, there's so much stuff that says, man, I really think this was not a solo act, and they just brushed it away.
So the cleaning of the tent thing really sticks out to me, because if it was, say it was one person, and they're very meticulous to the point where, all right, I'm going to do this horrible thing, but I'm going to clean up, any evidence in the tent. But then they just leave flashlights and shit everywhere. This sounds...
he placed the flashlight on top of the one sleeping bag, right? Almost like he did it on purpose.
Right, but that kind of sounds like, all right, there's multiple people. One person is trying to cover their tracks. The other person's a bumbling moron and leaves shit.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's like almost contradictory, right? Why would you try to clean a tent and then leave evidence? Especially because the flashlight was found with a smudged fingerprint, right?
Yes, and they were like, oh, great, we have evidence, but no, it's fucking smudged. You can't get anything off of that.
Yeah, almost like that was done on purpose. It's like a fuck you.
Yeah. Ugh.
So you got the note, right? We is not one person, right? On a mission. It seems occult to me. It seems ritualistic to me. And on top of it, you don't take extra security measures. Like, you're insane. This place sucks. You don't take the security measures. I don't think it was a lone killer. I think this was an intent. This was planned out for these reasons, right? And then you have the caves in the area, right? So you find the caves. Outside the main entrance to the main cave, you have 4 small fire piles arranged in a semicircle outside the main cave. And Cherokee cultures, it's like a ceremonial significance to do it that way. These fire piles, right? It's part of a ceremony for like passing over. So it's weird that these 4 fire piles are there if it was just him. The other thing that they find in this cave is cigarette butts with all the filters snapped off and cut off, right? And in Native American culture with this, it's like a smoking ritual. There's a smoke ritual, like not smoking per se, but creating smoke. It's used to send smoke, which they say is prayers, in purification and crossing over ceremonies. So you take the filter off and you light them, right? You burn them. Let the smoke rise. It's supposed to send prayers to the afterlife in these ceremonies. I know they found a bunch of other crap in the caves, right? They found eyeglasses stolen from the camp, duct tape that matched the flashlight.
Well, yeah, so that's the thing. So with the flashlight, whoever did it, they covered the lens with like a garbage bag and poked a pinhole in it, so when they turn it on, you can't see it everywhere. You just see where you're pointing it, which I've never heard of that, but it's kind of ingenious. And then they stuffed the inside with a newspaper. And remember the one detective mentions, like, oh, it was pages like 9 through 13 of this specific newspaper, and they did that so that you can't hear the batteries rattle when you're walking with it. Very creepy.
Yeah.
But then cut to the cave, and the shit they find in there, they found the rest of that same newspaper. And then, like you said, they found eyeglasses, which they're trying to use to connect Gene Leroy Hart, because apparently he had really, and again, I don't know why this would tie him to the murder. They said he had really bad eyesight, so how's he going to see in the woods at night? Anyway, really bad eyesight, so when he burglarized places, he would often steal eyeglasses, which a pair was stolen from that camp counselor's tent. So they were like, oh, it must have been him. He steals glasses. It's like, okay.
Again, it's all circumstantial evidence, right?
100%.
But you have this hideout in the woods. They're trying to say it was just where he was hiding, Hart. But all the other stuff, like I mentioned, makes it look more of like a ritual site than just some hideout. Right? So that's, again, why I'm leaning towards like the Nighthawks. And Leroy was a member of Cherokee Nation and was linked to the Nighthawks in that area. So could he have just given him information? Was he involved in it? He possibly could have been, but he wasn't the only one. That's why I don't agree with trying to rush it through trial. I think they should have actually looked into this more, if you ask me. I think Colt, maybe he was involved. Maybe he was just happened to be Cherokee too and he wasn't involved. But Maybe he stumbled upon the caves himself, hiding out, but it wasn't him that put the shit there. Maybe.
Maybe he hid out there after this all happened, and there was shit
Maybe.
already there.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't think he did that alone. I don't think he took the 3 kids alone. I don't know, it doesn't make sense to me. But yeah, the Nighthawks is a traditional faction of the Cherokee Society. It's like they actually kind of describe it as like a secret militant group, like preserving their old ways back in, when the tribes actually fought and killed each other. More like an old school thing. That's what the Nighthawks are. So that's where I'm thinking, again, like I was saying, the ritualistic killing of these children based on a group keeping their traditional values from back, say that it's, the freaking 1400s, 1300s, where the white folk came and took over the land. Right?
Jesus. Yeah, I don't know. There was also the thing with the knots and the rope used to tie them up. People were... This is where I hate the detective again. He pisses me off just listening to him. Because he was like, yeah, people were saying that there was 2 different knots used in tying up 2 separate girls, 2 different kinds of knots. And when you look at it, they're not really different knots. They're just kind of, you do this way and this that way. It's like, so you just said they're 2 different fucking knots, you retard. Like, you just proved the point that it was 2 different knots. So it was 2 different people tying it up. Asshole.
Yes. And another piece of evidence, right, that kind of supports that this was a group thing and that the cops didn't care about. Multiple landowners in the area reported quite a bit, quote unquote, of vehicle traffic on isolated dirt roads near the rear of the camp between 2:30 and 3 a.m. that day, or that morning. Like, is Hart driving multiple vehicles at the same time? You know what I mean? How is that possible? Why would there be multiple vehicles driving all through the dirt roads behind this camp that is reported by several farm owners in the area? No one looks into that?
Not one person looks into it. Because they want the case over with, and in their minds, they're doing the right thing by just pushing it to be over so that the family gets closure. But deep down, they know.
Yeah, it's pushed by one, like I said, the cops, the sheriff's department, whatever, the investigative body. They want a quick case because this is Oklahoma. Probably not a lot of. Well, you had Hart running around like a lunatic, but it might not be a crime of that magnitude might not happen very often, right? So the investigative body wants a closed case. The camp counselors want a closed case because of their neglect. They probably feel guilt like you wouldn't believe. So they want it over with. The victims' families seem like they wanted a closed case quickly. To get it out of their minds, I guess, not to deal with that anymore, so they can move on and just mourn and heal from it and not deal with the whole trial aspect of it. So what do? You find, there's a Hart. He's in the area. He's raped before, even though nothing else matches what he does. He's blind, apparently, but he can see perfectly fine at night in the woods during a thunderstorm. So you do that. You go with that route and run with it, and then you try to convict. Obviously, you don't have the evidence; it gets thrown out, and now you fail at securing any type of closure on the case because you wanted the quick conviction.
Because he dies in prison of a heart attack shortly after he's caught, right?
Yeah, he gone. Yeah,
He got,
he went back to serving his 300 and some years for burglarizing multiple houses. Um, he actually got out on parole after the kidnapping of the two pregnant women early, right? He got out of jail early. He was supposed to serve much longer. He got out in like 69 or something, and then was thrown back in jail for being a scumbag. And escapes somehow. He escapes multiple times. He escapes multiple times from prison.
well, I was gonna say, like, so he gets let out on parole after kidnapping and doing all that to these two women, but then he gets like 300 years for burglary. Like, what the fuck is happening in Oklahoma where that's like the standard?
I think because of multiple. Isn't it something to do with because he had multiple felonies at that point, and then it was also because he burglarized one of the like sheriff's deputies' houses or an officer's house or something on top of it, so that they had like extra. Because for some reason, like they're humans too, but if you do it against law enforcement, it's always way worse of a sentence.
I get, but at the same time, like, all right, again, I'm not defending him. I just feel like they should have given him like a million years for the kidnapping of the two women, and then who gives a shit about the burglary at that point?
Yeah, he should have been in jail for life for kidnapping two pregnant women, sexually assaulting them, and then leaving them for dead. Yeah, he should have been. He should have been done at that. I wouldn't. There's no way you're getting parole, dude.
No, and they let him out.
Parole, yeah, and then you go for your parole interview, whatever you want to call it, and you say, oh yeah, he seems to be rehabilitated, right? And you let him out, and he acts like a piece of shit off the rip.
Dude, so many people in this case should just be put to death. So, starting off, anyone who worked at that camp, I know that counselor was 15. Maybe give her a break because I know she did report it to, like, the head of the camp who did jack shit. Put the two people in charge of the camp, the husband and wife, kill them. Then, you got the parole board. Get the parole board who let Hart out after doing this heinous crime. It's like, well, do you feel rehabilitated? Yeah, I guess. Great, good enough for me. Stamp of approval. Go get McDonald's or whatever you want. And he leaves. And then goes and does a million other things. And they're like, well, you robbed that house, so we're going to give you 308 years. What? Like,
It was multiple burglaries.
Like, I know this is kind of backwards, and I'm sorry if you live there, but this makes me not want to ever go to Oklahoma. Like, you sound dumb. God damn it. It's so irritating.
Dude, yeah, I mean, I wish I could get more in depth, like with the actual person who did it. But like I said, I just think it's the Nighthawks altogether. But there's so much stuff that makes no sense that you can't say it was Leroy. That was the whole point of this episode, right?
Basically.
To find out, to let everyone know that the guy who was charged with the crime, I don't think he either didn't do it or he sure as hell didn't do it alone.
Well, there's a farmer, all right? It's something I need to bring up. There's a farmer that lived about a mile away from where this happened. And he, apparently, his house got burgled, whatever the fuck you want to call it, robbed, sure.
Burglarized.
And stolen from his house was duct tape and the cord used in the murders. Why don't we look more into this guy? Because anyone could say, oh, my house was robbed, and the murder weapons just happened to have been taken from my house. I didn't use them, though. It wasn't me. You're not gonna look at him a little closer, maybe? I don't know.
What's his name?
That's Jack Schroff. He's a farmer. He lived a mile from where it happened.
It's very interesting, right?
Nobody knows the area like the farmers do, so he wouldn't need help seeing at night because he knows the trails. I don't know, just a hunch. Maybe look at him.
Yeah, he was burglarized multiple times, right, leading up to the crime.
Well, the camp, yeah, the mess hall was robbed. A flag was stolen. That ransacking in the counselor's tent. I mean, all
So
of
yeah,
that, and they did nothing.
everything stolen from his house was used in the murder. Um, it's very convenient, right?
Yeah.
But did he didn't act alone. He couldn't have been acting alone, right? He was basically so that he was uh, he's a suspect at first. I don't know if you saw he passed a polygraph test.
Those things.
But as we know,
yeah.
Anyone who's a psychopath or a pathological liar can easily pass a polygraph test. If they take a baseline, right? They give you what color is the sky. They give you baseline questions that you're going to answer truthfully, and they see what your heart rate, and respiration is and stuff, and they go by that. And then they tell you something that you're going to lie about. Typically, a person who would be afraid of getting caught in the lie with their heart rate might increase or something a little bit. But if you're a psychopath or a pathological liar, you don't care. You can just lie, and you think it's truth really sometimes, and nothing changes. So you can easily pass that, right? And they also said he had an alibi for the night, for that night, but his alibi conveniently was never put in public record in the case, and they never released it as evidence, like for anyone else to see. Police never released that information. They just said he had an alibi, so they cleared him as a suspect extremely early on in the case. Because what, you have your heart set on Hart, so you just like, nah, yeah, he's good. We're not gonna look at this guy anymore.
People still look at Hart for this fucking years and years later. They came out a few years back saying, oh, well, because they wanted to reopen the case with the new DNA testing methods. And to do that, I guess it was like $30,000 for the testing place to do this, even though, it's like the police want this done. They're like, no, you got to pay us. But the town came up with the money, and they ran the tests, and again came back with fucking nothing. And everyone's like, see, it was Hart. It's like, no, nothing points to him. Not a damn thing. It's like,
nope.
What they came back with, like, it's inconclusive that anybody else did it, but it still didn't say that it was him.
Yeah, anytime they ran the DNA, it was degraded. But they also, no matter how recently they've run the DNA, it's never. It is hard. It's consistent with it being Hart because it's, again, like I said, Cherokee lineage, male, like obviously male, but male comes back as one of the things. But obviously we can tell that because of the body fluids. So it doesn't say it is him. It just says it can possibly be consistent with Hart. But again, like I just mentioned, the Cherokee Nighthawks in the area, wouldn't they come back as having Cherokee markers in their DNA samples as well?
100%.
100%. So you can't just blame him. He may have acted with a group, or he may not have been in the group and he was framed. He's not able. He can't do that all by himself. He can't do it all by himself.
It definitely, it wasn't one person. I'm sorry. And the fact that people are like, yeah, we know it was him. No, you don't. And you're trying to push past it, and I get it. It's for the family's sake to put it to bed, but for a fact it wasn't just him. If him at all. And again, we're not defending him, we're defending the process that, people seem to look past the process sometimes, especially back in those days. They like to rush things along.
Yep, just to get a conviction.
Yeah.
And it's unreal.
Jesus.
So, and I just want to, drop something. We apologize for the delay in the next episode. I know I had quite a few people asking me when the next episode is being released. It's just the illness is going around for some reason now. It's almost summer too, right?
Ugh.
Like I had the stomach thing prior to actually. No, it was before our last episode, right? We recorded after I had the.
I think so.
I think so. Well, anyway, yeah, like norovirus style stuff, and then Josh got sick after the last episode, and so we didn't want him, throwing up on the mic.
Well, it wasn't even that. Like I thought it was allergies, but it was just like a light cold. But my loving wife, who is my favorite, told me, "Oh, take a Zyrtec, you'll be fine." And she pops these all the time, so I guess she has an immunity. But I didn't know that Zyrtec knocks you the fuck out. So I popped one, and I went to work. And I sat behind the desk, and I fell asleep. And then I was like, oh no. And then I came home, and so her and I have the podcast, and we watch a movie, and then we record. That night we were supposed to record, and I told her there's no fucking way. So we get home at like 8 o'clock, and I immediately go to bed and just pass the fuck out. And then I texted my boss, I'm like, look, I'm going to be fucking late tomorrow because I don't know what's wrong with me. I slept until like 11:30. I get up and I go to work, and I'm feeling like $1,000,000. I feel so much better. And I text my wife. I'm like, hey, I think it was the Zyrtec. And she's like, oh, yeah, they make you really sleepy. I'm like, great. I really appreciate you telling me that before I took one. She's like, oh, no, you're only supposed to take half. And I'm like, again, you watched me take it. Just let me anyway. So I was so fucked up at work. And my coworkers were like waking me up. You're like, yo, are you okay? I'm like, no. But I'm like, yeah. I'm okay now, but goddamn.
Yeah, my illness was like a stomach thing, like kind of like the kids had it first, and then I had it, and I had training scheduled out in Conshohocken, Pennsylvania. So I the night before, I'm vomiting. Out of nowhere, I woke up and and then I drive out to the training, and I'm like dying. I'm literally laying there like falling asleep. And then they did some barbecue at the place, and I'm like, I really want it, but I don't want it because I don't want to vomit. And I got home and I passed out, dude. I died. Like, I'm tired now. I have yet to recover from like the lack of sleep. I don't know why. I don't know if it's we're getting older. 30s now. He's almost to the mid 30s. If I don't sleep one night, like if I stay up and play like video games or something, and I don't go to bed till like 2 a.m, I am fucked for like 2 weeks. It's like legit 2 weeks before I recover from that lack of sleep. It's insane.
Ugh,
what
dude,
happened to us?
I don't know, but sleep is like my favorite thing. So like,
it is. It's great.
Jess and we sleep in separate rooms, not because of a weird 50s style scenario, but it's because I snore like a fucking wildebeest. And if we share a bed, I get punched in the face and told to roll over. So I sleep in the other room, and I keep it ice cold, and I lock the cats out, and it's glorious, even though it's like the bed's kind of shitty, but whatever. And then she sleeps great too, and we wake up and we're fine. But goddamn, dude, sleep is my favorite fucking thing ever. Like, when I'm online with you guys, I'm always the first to sign off just because I want to go to bed.
Yeah. I love sleep too. I'm not gonna lie, I love sleep. Which is what I'm doing right after this recording. And then I gotta go to work in the morning, and can't wait to get home and go to sleep.
It's bad that you're fantasizing about sleep you're gonna have tomorrow night as well.
It's great.
I can't wait, dude. I'm gonna fucking hit the hay and just Oh my god. I wanted to say something to our UK listeners, if I may.
Yes.
So I went to the store the other day, and I made a decision, and that decision was to buy a can of beans. And I bought the correct ones. I know it's the Heinz, the weird bluish green can beans with the tomato sauce. So I'm going to try the beans on toast. I know we've talked about it a long time ago, but I'm finally going to try it.
So that's the ones you have to get?
Apparently, every video I've seen, it's that can, so...
Okay, so it's not like just get some Bush's baked beans.
No, because it's full of... they say it's full of sugar, and you got to use this one, but they're all full of fucking sugar.
So it's tomato sauce, not like a...
I'm fairly certain. Correct me if I'm wrong, Hammers, but I'm going to try it, and I'll report back in the following episode with how I feel, if it's a catastrophe or not.
Yeah. Oh, man. It was a while ago. That was a while ago when we mentioned the... I don't even remember what episode that was. We mentioned beans on toast.
That was so goddamn long ago, but I finally built up the courage to try it. So I was going to have it the other day, but my blood pressure was very high and my head was pounding, and I was like, I shouldn't add beans and toast to this, so I'll try it probably, Friday.
Yeah. So, let us know what you think about the doing more of these, right? Cold cases. We'll find more. I also want to start doing some debunking. Like we did the flat Earth shit, and we may do more episodes on flat Earth, but there's other things maybe we'll look into to debunk, or maybe one of us believes it, one of us doesn't, or whatever. So I'm thinking about doing some of them, right? Debunked. We haven't said that in a while. We haven't said that in an episode in a while. So,
yeah,
Hart being the only killer, debunked.
Debunked.
Right? So there's them. I want to do some of them too. Yeah. I still haven't got back. I haven't looked in. I got to look into getting back on X. I know Hammers said he was going to send us some links in one of his comments about something, but the X is like locked. I don't know what's going on. It's asking for 2-factor verification now, which I never set up. So then it's saying we'll send it to your phone number, and I never get this 2-factor verification because it doesn't have a phone number on there. You know what I mean? So I'm like, what the fuck? So I gotta figure it out somehow. And I eventually get back on X. I can check what Hammer sent us, and go from there, I guess. And actually post, these links. No one on X is no one over. They're like, what the fuck's going on with those two idiots? All right. So I'll have to get back on there. That's something to do. We also have we started the preliminary merch store, right? With the Jersey Devil collection. That's still up.
Yes.
So if anyone wants to check that out, we got that going on. We're gonna add a lot of collections. We're working on designs and stuff. So that's pretty cool. We still drink Ovaltine, right?
Dude, so much.
So I looked into making a shirt because Hammers mentioned the shirt, right? Just two Ovaltine loving Jersey boys, and I consulted legally about that, and that wouldn't be something that would be allowed. We can talk about Ovaltine in the show, right? We can make, jokes about it, but we can't sell merchandise with them on without permission. So we're gonna have to work on that.
See, that's kind of surprising because years ago I had an idea for a T-shirt that I was really excited about. And that design was, I have Scholastic Book Fair energy. And I thought I was being very original, but somebody already came up with that idea and was selling the shirt and making money off of it. I guarantee Scholastic didn't okay that.
I mean, yeah, we could do it and we could sell it and we can make money off it. What happens usually is if Ovaltine gets wind of it, they could then send us a cease and desist. And if we continue, then they can sue us for the revenue.
I want to be sued by Ovaltine so bad.
But we love their stuff. They should definitely allow us to do a commercial for them.
They should. I feel like it would go really well, considering not many young people know what Ovaltine is.
Which is sad.
It's very sad. Everyone should have it in their house.
Gen Z and Gen Alpha don't know Ovaltine, do they?
No, I don't know if they're still on that Nesquik bullshit, but
Nesquik.
That True Moo shite. No, give me my Ovaltine straight.
Straight? You just take the powder?
Just fucking snort it right up. Ready for the day.
Is that what you do before you fight the cryptids, or you drink it with milk?
I inject it with a needle.
Oh,
usually.
That's right.
I fucking like you get the EpiPens or whatever the fuck, pure adrenaline, but I fill it with Ovaltine.
Oh,
and just fucking inject it, just ready to go.
That's better though that way.
Yeah.
Man. But yeah, guys. Like I was mentioning to other people that reach out and say especially our last episode, the Hente Kai Fek murders, got a lot of love. And I tell anyone who listens, please just go on Spotify, rate us, because it helps with the algorithm, and tell your friends. Spread it by word of mouth. We haven't spent any money on advertising.
No.
And I mean, according to Spotify, we're listened to in like 61 countries. The list is like 61 countries. Now, I'm sure they're not, every country's not listening every single fucking episode, but we've been in 61 different countries listened to. I know the Turks and Caicos loves us, right? Remember we got that thing from that we were like the #1 comedy for like a week in Turks and Caicos.
I still don't know how that happened. Like, I believe in us, I really do, but really?
Hey. We also might have more guests coming on. We'll have to look into that. Figure out more about that, right? We also, I guess the Call of Duty expert's never coming on. That was a running joke for a while.
Dude,
that's the conspiracy.
I want to get him on here, not even to do like anything specific, just to shoot the shit. Maybe talk about the time we almost got arrested while he was making a sandwich. And,
yeah.
We got a lot of stories we could get into with him.
Yeah. He's sitting there making a sandwich watching us while we're getting
That piece of shit.
Because they thought we were burglarizing houses and stealing like refrigerators in my Mustang. That was
small Mustang. What are we going to steal, sir? 1 DVD? All right.
Yeah, guys, please rate us, leave comments. I know, Hammers loves leaving comments, and I appreciate all his comments he leaves on Spotify. People leave comments on YouTube, but again, YouTube is like a cesspool of flat earthers that just, no matter, even if the episode isn't about flat earth, they comment that we're scumbags because we don't believe in flat earth. For whatever reason. And that's fine. It's fine. I love that we annoy the flat earthers that much. Yeah, comment, rate, subscribe if you listen and don't subscribe. Yeah, for some reason, only like people they're allergic to rating, but it helps us out. So if you do rate, we greatly appreciate that. And then spread it, word of mouth, probably the fastest way. But then I guess we might have to start spending some money on advertising. What do you think, Josh?
Yeah, I think so too. I don't know. The flat earthers are keeping us down, but
I think they report our stuff.
I don't know what they get out of it.
Because they don't like us. We're keeping them down. We're hiding the truth.
Oh my God. I look at flat earthers the same way Rick Sanchez looked at the people booing him in Rick and Morty. He said, "Your boos mean nothing. I've seen what makes you cheer." That's how I look at flat earthers.
Yeah. What? Yeah. Oh my God. Another flat earth debunk episode might have to come out. Just so I love, they're nasty on YouTube. I don't know if you read those comments. They say we're the stupidest people alive. It's funny as shit.
We're the stupidest people alive, yet they believe the earth is flat. Okay. Fuck off. God damn it. Any argument they come with us, like, yeah, but you think it's flat. Like, yeah, you're still stupid.
Oh yeah, we did an episode where we talked about like Flat Earth Dave did the live stream fucking Artemis.
Oh my God. Dude, that whole thing, I lost so many brain cells. And now you see, it doesn't even make sense. Look at the way it's shaped. What are you talking about?
Because I forgot he's a rocket scientist, an engineer.
Yeah.
That can't work that way. Oh, okay, that's right.
Look how the smoke is moving at that speed compared to the... What do you mean? What?
Oh man. Just a quick shout out. Obviously we're gonna sign off with some simulated sun. Hopefully he gets more stuff up there. But Professor Dave had a episode. I think I sent it to you, Josh, where they tricked Flat Earth Dave into thinking it was some whistleblower from NASA.
Yeah.
And he ate it up. Awesome
Dude.
episode. I forgot what it was called exactly. Just go to Professor Dave's YouTube channel and look up, I guess, Flat Earth Dave or something. It'll come up. Hilarious. Guy
All
fell for
because
it.
he took the pictures of their training and sent it to him, and they were like, "See, this is what they green screened for." I was like, "See, I knew it. That's right there. That's right. You're stupid. You're a fucking idiot, dude." You guys, how far is the sun compared to that? What's the number? Tell me right now. Don't think about it. Tell me. Shut up.
Anything? How can you say something's brighter than the sun? Well, why not?
Why
Remember that?
yeah.
I was like, well, Polaris is also because he was doing the inverse square, and he was trying to say, well, if Polaris is that far away, only 1 light year away, and you wouldn't see it. I'm like, well, it's also like 90 million times brighter than the sun. Nothing's brighter than the sun. All right.
Such a second grade answer. Nothing's brighter than the sun.
I like how this turned into a flat Earth.
It always does. We get angry at them because they're just stupid.
I'm a globetrot. All right, if you guys want to hear another flat Earth debunk, we can actually. I was thinking about doing them, like just take their main talking points and debunk them one by one. You can also let us know in the comments or on X if I ever get back to X or on Instagram. Follow us on Instagram. We have all. If you're on X and have Instagram, you can follow us on both. You should follow us on both. Anything else you have to say about the flat Earthers, Josh? Or are we signing off for tonight?
I'm going to sign off because I am getting angry again. And I don't want to get flat smacked here, whatever the fuck they say.
We got flat smack.
Flat smack. Shut up.
All right, guys.
Smack you for real.
Later, guys.
Bye.